Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Reema Tendulkar. With me is Sonal Bhutra, and these are the top stories that we're tracking at 1:30 p.m. Midcap trade flat after outperforming larger peers earlier in the day. Stocks stay ranged as a marginally higher US CPI print muddles the interest rate trajectory. Auto realty eke out gains while FMCG and utilities drag.
Torrent Power sees prospects improve across segments, and even NMDC manages a steady quarter. Both announced dividends. The stocks gained 2 to 11% intraday.
Brokerages turn cautious on Bharat Forge as debt rises and domestic growth falls short of expectations. Nomura downgrades to neutral, while Citi has a sell call on the stock. The stock slumps.
Supriya Life Sciences tanks in early trade after a dismal third quarter as margin plunges to its lowest since listing and profit nearly halves sequentially. The stock is now off the session lows.
Low utilization and a disappointing margin weighs down on electrode maker HEG. The management tells CNBC-TV18 lower steel production globally has hurt demand, but it is confident that utilization will improve to 70% in the fourth quarter, and they do not see any delay in their expansion plans.
Okay, all right. Those are the top headlines that we are tracking. Good afternoon. For the markets for now, it continues to be a very range-bound session. Right now, the Nifty is absolutely flat with some negative bias. We did see some recovery from the lows of the day, so we are off around 70 points from the lows. It has been around that 17,920 mark for a while now, and that's why it's been very range-bound. Midcap index, which was outperforming, has fallen from the top, so it is flat with some positive bias, up 12 points as we speak. And IT index, that is the one which is the top gainer, so that is sitting with gains of around 0.5%. We do have some weakness coming in for the banking index, so that continues to be under pressure. 120 points gone there, and consumption stocks too continue to be under pressure today. But yes, of course, the inflation print in our own markets and of course the global markets as well is something that is defining how the markets move globally and in India as well, of course.
Yes, indeed. And one place where we've seen a bit of a change in the last 1-2 hours has been the metal index. So the Nifty metal index was up nearly 1%, but now has dipped into the red, and you would see selling pressure in the Nifty metal index, and individual constituents like JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Hindalco, all of them have come off from the day's high in the last 2 hours of trade. But let's invite Samit Javan, technical analyst, Angel One, now for a tech check on the market. Samit, thoughts on the day so far? Very quiet on the index. Whatever gyrations we had to see took place in the first 30 minutes. How do we proceed from here on?
Good afternoon, Reema. See, market has been quite since last 1.5 months. The only positive is, yesterday's session, we managed to surpass 17,900 on a closing basis, though that is nearly, the highest point in last 3 weeks. And the kind of, price action that we are witnessing today, although it is, subdued, but we are maintaining our position beyond 17,900 for Nifty, and for Bank Nifty, it is, steady beyond 41,500. So that's a positive sign. So if market has to, come out of this slumber phase, Nifty needs to surpass 18,000 and Bank Nifty needs to surpass 42,000. So the kind of, activity that we have been witnessing since last 2 to 3 days, it is possible that probably by end of this week, we are likely to come out of this condition zone, provided, there is no aberration on the global front. So overall, the structure is sideways to positive, and the confirmation would come once Nifty, surpasses 18,000 and Bank Nifty 42,000, 42,200.
Okay, all right. So that is what the market setup, at least from a technical front, looks like. What would your individual technical bets be in that case?
See, we have two buys. First one would be, from the banking space. Overall, banking has been muted, but, Kotak Bank has been making some sort of, attempt to come out of this congestion zone. So Kotak Bank at current level, which is trading around 1780, is poised for a move towards 1820, 1830. So we like Kotak Bank, for a short-term move towards 1830, and the stop loss now can be kept somewhere around 1760. Apart from this, some of these gas distribution companies have started to give, a good move. MGL is the one stock, that is poised for a good breakout from current level. So MGL, we like at current level, which is likely to surpass, 912, 915 in probably next couple of days. The kind of volume activity that we are witnessing since last couple of days, that is quite promising. So MGL can be bought at current level. 888 would be the stop loss level, and we would expect this stock, moving towards 935 over the next 1.5 weeks.
Thank you very much for that. Get into a break. Up next, we'll connect with Pankaj Poddar, CEO of Cosmo First, to discuss the Q3 numbers.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Friends, I want to share some good news with all of you. Firstly, like always, we have performed very well this time also.
But what will we get?
Secondly, we shall invest in employee benefit.
Come on, now tell us what will we get?
And thirdly, we shall invest in LIC's group funded plans.
Great, we'll get everything.
Now, leave encashment,
Gratuity.
and along with pension, our future is
Yes, employees' real benefit lies in LIC pension and group scheme.
भैया वो फ्री वाला शुगर है ना यार।
भैया जी फ्री का ही चाहिए तो आस्था ट्रेड पे डीमैट अकाउंट खोल लो ना। यहाँ पे इंट्राडे स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग बिल्कुल ब्रोकरेज फ्री है।
इंट्राडे स्टॉक ट्रेडिंग बिना किसी ब्रोकरेज के सिर्फ आस्था ट्रेड फ्लो ऐप पर।
Come what may, with Apollo Tires, have a wonderful day.
पापा ने अपने स्टार्टअप ड्रीम को रीस्टार्ट किया ताकि मैं ये सीख सकूं, सपना है तो पूरा करके दिखाओ।
करो पूरे अपने इरादे, अपनों से किए सभी वादे। SBI लाइफ, अपने लिए, अपनों के लिए।
चाहे खरीदना हो अपना घर या हो रिटायरमेंट के लिए फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, मुझे फ्यूचर की कोई चिंता नहीं, क्योंकि मेरे पीछे SMC है।
SMC, money wise, be wise.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Welcome back. Still tuned into Midcap Radar, and Cosmo First is the company on our radar today. The company delivered a weak set of numbers for the third quarter. Says the BOPP and BOPET industry, they face challenges of excess supply due to bunching of new production lines and also encountered demand disruptions in overseas markets. Pankaj Poddar, the CEO of the company, is joining us now to discuss the earnings fine print and the outlook going forward as well. Mr. Poddar, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, of course, it's an industry-wide problem. We saw this in numbers of Uflex, Ester Industries as well. All these stocks are lower in trade. But from Cosmo First perspective, I wanted to understand, since majority of your revenues coming from specialty films, how could you not navigate the supply side situation? What went wrong this time around, and what is quarter four looking like?
So hi, very good afternoon. First is we are so glad that we have reported much better numbers than the industry average. Obviously, from the optics, it certainly looks that our numbers are lower, but we have to also consider that this quarter, due to various inventory corrections and supply chain corrections around the globe, we have incurred roughly 32 crore one-time hit. And then this number also includes 8 crore rupee of losses on the newly started BOPET as well as the pet care business Ziggly. So put together, these numbers also include that 40 crore number. And, so those are the two main reasons. The other thing is the specialty itself, which has been growing quarter on quarter for last many quarters, has taken a dip in this quarter from 64-65% of last quarter to 57% of this quarter, because there also we saw a lot of inventory corrections across customers in Europe and America. So people had earlier bought more, and this quarter, they said that, sorry, we cannot buy, so in our exports, our specialty sales went down. But in spite of this fact, we have a double-digit EBITDA numbers. We have a return on equity, even in such a worse market, at 25%. So from that perspective, yes, we feel that we have done quite well.
So one of the aspects is the excess supply caused by bunching up of new production lines and the inventory hit that you've had to take, and the the batch that you had started for pet care, etc. But on the demand side as well, you're saying that the company faced demand destruction in overseas market. Can you talk about that? What's leading to this weakness in demand?
So this is not weakness in demand. This is more about inventory corrections. So what had happened during COVID, last phase of COVID actually, was that, the supply chain disruptions were there, as we all know, and everybody was trying to buy more. And let's say the transit time from India to US, which in the normal course is 30 days, during that phase, it had gone up to as high as 90 days. So one side, everybody was facing shortages of material, and the other side, the supply chain was taking longer. And accordingly, people were buying more, customers were buying more. Even in some cases, we had to import more. And then post-July, what we saw is that, all of a sudden, the transit times started reducing, the freight cost came down, the raw material cost started coming down, and everybody kind of started correcting their inventory. So we saw that our specialty sales was the highest in July. August and September, it still were at decent numbers. But post-October, when the whole market realized that, we are in an overbought situation, everybody started buying much lesser, or some customers even said that, sorry, this quarter will not buy. So it's not as much demand, I would say. It's more of inventory corrections, and we're already seeing some corrections from January. It may take a month more maybe, but things will be back to normal soon.
Okay, so what does it mean in terms of your FY23, FY24 performance? Because you had earlier said that, FY23 will be a good quarter where you'll be able to maintain margins. What is the top line growth looking like? How has Q4 panned out so far, since you're saying it'll take some quarters for this inventory destocking and the channels to improve as well? What is the outlook going forward in terms of margins and revenue growth?
So Q4 we definitely feel should be better than Q3. Obviously, it's still half the quarter, and it's a little early, and our industry is quite unique, especially when it comes to the normal BOPP and polyester films. So to that extent, it's always difficult to say. But in general, most of these corrections which happened in Q3, some of it will get reversed in Q4, and therefore things are brighter in Q4. Obviously, from Q1, we see everything to normalize soon and customers buying again. And therefore, and as far as the Indian demand is concerned, that's growing very well. So if you talk about Indian demand, it's definitely growing at double-digit numbers. It's just that all of a sudden, there's too much of bunching of capacity, which happened both in BOPET and BOPP. The good thing is in BOPET, now there are only 2 more lines which are left in next 2 years. So we expect personally, I mean, if you ask my personal opinion, that I feel that it's a matter of few months here and there, and then the BOPET prices should again start getting more rationalized or better. As far as BOPP is concerned, there's still some more supplies to come in next 2 years. So it will happen in phases. It may not happen maybe in a quarter. But yes, that will also start improving. And the better part the good part in the BOPP is that next year, there are only 2 more lines coming up. The more bunching happening in BOPP is actually in the year FY24-25.
Got it. Specialty chemicals, wanted to get the outlook there because I think for FY23 you seem to have lowered the top line guidance. You are guiding for a top line of 160 to 170 crores for specialty chemicals, and previously it's spoken about 180 to 200 crores. What's the outlook for FY24? What would be the big drivers? How do you see this playing out?
So even on this revenue this year, we have made some marginal profit. This business also underwent the same challenges which film had to go through. Here we do not export as much, so there is a lot of imports that we have to do. And in case of imports, we had to keep more inventory when the supply chain issues were there. And we were left with certain high cost inventory, which had to be consumed in Q3. Some part of it will be consumed in Q4 as well. Now that the prices have come down and therefore the revenue guidance went down a little bit, and even customers to that extent were a little hesitant to buy as much as they were buying, in the earlier quarters. Here also from last year, we were close to 80 crores. We should be doing 160, 170 this year. And next year, we should be touching close to 250 crores. We are, so earlier we were doing master batches in textile chemical. We are in the final phases of trials for adhesive also. So that will be also the adhesive for industrial, which are very similar to our, the film industry, same set of customers. So packaging adhesives and lamination adhesives, they're on the process of launch. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Podar, because we have lesser time, I would just quickly want to slip in one more question, and that's on the pet care business. You did mention that the industry this time around larger funding of operating deficit in the rapidly growing pet care vertical. Are you seeing slower growth here? Will the break-even point, the demerger that you had mentioned as well earlier, be delayed because of it? What is the run rate that you're looking at? 12 crores GMV for FY23. What is FY24 looking like?
So we are growing phenomenally well month over month. Our app has been launched, which has been quite a success. We had also done a brand video, which has already 25 million impressions on it. So the business is going quite well, both from digital business as well as the retail business. In retail, we have now, as on today, we have already opened 14 stores. By March end, we are saying 16. And next year, we are saying anywhere between 35 to 40 stores put together. This business itself from 11-12 crore rupees of net revenue should easily become 4 to 5 times next year. And a year thereafter, the GMV, we are talking about close to 125-130 crores. So this business is scaling up very well. And obviously, in the initial phases, we'll have to make some losses. But we are hoping that in 2 to 2.5 years, we will start to make money once we have consolidated, our supply chains are stronger. We do a fairly large volume, to negotiate with our vendors and charge the right pricing to our customers. So we feel 2 to 2.5 years will be the right set of numbers to achieve that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Podar, for joining in. That's Cosmo First talking about their films business, specialty chemicals, and the pet care business, which will turn profitable in the next 2 to 2.5 years. Get into a break. On the other side, we'll talk more about the markets. We'll also get you our Midcap Spotlight stock of the day.
Good CEOs play by the rules. Great CEOs reframe the game. This is the winning mindset, where we profile CEOs who changed the game. From 65 crore rupees in 1997, Motherson now commands a market capitalization of nearly 50,000 crore rupees, thanks largely to its aggressive global expansion.
Ever since 1993, we've grown the top line by 35% a year. When we couldn't get the opportunities in India, we said, let's go out. Your strategy will always interfere with the customer's strategy. That's why not having a strategy is a great strategy.
The Winning Mindset, the CEO Guidebook, only on CNBC-TV18.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
हमें ये एहसास है कि कुछ लोग हमें क्या समझते हैं। इस कॉलेज का सबसे अहम अंग्रेजी शब्द टॉपर किसके पास? एक बात याद रखना, तुम्हारी पहचान सिर्फ तुम लिख सकते हो, बाकी सबके लिए तो पापा ने प्लान कर ही लिया है।
अपनों को इंश्योर करने के साथ उन्हें अपनी पहचान की ताकत का एहसास दिलाएं। HDFC लाइफ, सर उठा के जियो।
बात सिर्फ मेरी नहीं, देश की थी। माइनस डिग्री में भी कॉन्फिडेंस प्लस में रहता था। वो जज्बा आज भी बरकरार है, सही मूव लेने के लिए, क्योंकि अब बात सिर्फ मेरी है।
सिग्नेचर ग्लोबल आपके इसी अंदाज को सल्यूट करता है। इंडिपेंडेंट फ्लोज फॉर द इंडिपेंडेंट यू।
स्मिता, आओ बेसो बेसो।
स्कार्फ में भी पहचान लिया?
हाँ, बोलो आज बैंक कैसे? मनी ट्रांसफर
कर दी ऐप से।
तो FD
ऐप से।
चेक बुक चाहिए होगी नहीं है ना?
मेरी शादी है। ऐप में आप नहीं हो ना, इसीलिए खुद काट देने चली आई।
बहुत सरस है।
रिश्ता आपसे, सिर्फ ऐप से नहीं। फेडरल बैंक, योर परफेक्ट बैंकिंग पार्टनर।
When it comes to making your drive electric, never settle for the ordinary. Go EV with India's #1 EV, Nexon EV. Proven and trusted by over 40,000 customers. Feature loaded and safe, offering a premium driving experience. Now with enhanced range and an exciting new price. Nexon EV. Drive what drove India electric.
When our big boss was MD, he used to take care of us.
And our Prince Sahab is busy ensuring his family. Oh, big boss, you?
He's busy obtaining term insurance for his family. After all, office is also our family. Am I right?
Let's close the deal.
Thank you.
Verma ji, will you have tea with this prince?
LIC's Group Term Assurance Plan takes care of your office family.
Whenever I had ice cream or cold water, I would experience a sharp shooting sensation. So I just kept ignoring it. Even my hot chai was giving me the same amount of discomfort. My dentist recommended Sensodyne. So now I can be completely carefree and sip my hot cup of tea. It really works.
रेणु, अपना नया घर का सपना पूरा होगा। लोन हो गया।
पापा, हम अपने नए घर में कैसे रहेंगे?
अपनी नई कार में।
और ये कार लोन भी यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया से?
हाँ, अब घर और कार का सुनहरा सपना साकार।
यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, अच्छे लोग, अच्छा बैंक।
Welcome back. Let's get to our Midcap Spotlight segment. My colleague Sonia is here to tell us more. Sonia, the numbers look pretty okay for Ricoh Auto, but the stock is under severe pressure, down close to about 10%. What explains that?
Oh, absolutely. So the stock is down about 10%, and as you rightly pointed out, the numbers are not too bad at all. In fact, the revenue growth has come in at 16% for Ricoh Auto. The EBITDA is up about 25% and the margins have expanded 70 basis points, coming in at 9.8%. Now, the profits as well, there's a marginal growth that we're seeing there. Now, the company has said earlier that they are on track to meet their FY24 EBITDA margin guidance of 10%. They had guided for double-digit margins, and seems like with the way they are going in 9 months of this year, they are well on track to meet it. Not just that, they've said that in the next couple of years, they're targeting a growth of 15 to 20%. The focus is more on electric vehicle components, and within that, electric vehicles will contribute 25% to their revenues. So the guidance has been optimistic. I guess the reason why the stock could be under pressure is because in the 9 months, the revenues have come in at 1,704 crores. Now, the company had earlier guided for 2,400 crores revenues by the end of FY23. Now, as per the current run rate, it looks like the company may not be able to meet its own FY23 guidance, and hence there is some selling pressure, but there is no real reason to explain a 10% fall in the stock. Nevertheless, the numbers are looking a bit, decent, although the company may not be able to meet their full year FY23 guidance on the top line. Back to you. All right, the stock is lower in trade. Thank you so much, Sonia, for all those details. Adani Enterprises is among the Nifty gainers today after posting a healthy set of Q3 numbers. Yesterday, it reported a 42% growth in revenue and swung to profit after recording a loss in the year-ago period. Speaking post-results, Jukshinder Singh, the Group CFO of Adani Group, says that company is focused on maintaining business momentum amid market volatility as well as corporate governance standards as well.
We are laser focused on continuing our business momentum in this market volatility. We are confident in our internal controls, compliance, and corporate governance. And second, we will focus on areas financials, operating performance, and incubation pipeline. We are undisputed leaders in executing complex infrastructure projects, whilst in the initial stages, generating strong cash flow results in a rapid deleverage. AEL has demonstrated this effect over the past nearly 3 decades. In short, our balance sheet is healthy. We have industry-leading development capabilities, strong corporate governance, secure assets, and strong cash flows.
Okay, that's the view coming in from the Adani Group. Some more stocks which pop up on your radar. Torrent Power has been a big mover ever since it came out with their numbers. Numbers were post-market hours yesterday. Strong set of profitability. The bottom line was also boosted by a one-time gain on gas trading. Tejas Networks came out with the numbers a couple of weeks back. But today, the stock has gained 8.5% on very large volumes. Apollo Hospitals continues to climb higher, and now it's up nearly 5%. In fact, more than 5% on Apollo Hospitals. So that's the top Nifty gainer. Reliance Industries is going strong for the second day in a row. Yesterday, up more than 2%, and it's followed it up with a 2% rally. Tech Mahindra is also popping up on the gainers chart with a 4.5% up move. But at the index level, things continue to be very, very flat. So that follow-on buying that we were hoping to see after yesterday's rally to help us break out of the range hasn't taken place so far yet. But we've still got an hour and a half left of trade. So wait for it. We are going to wrap up on Midcap Radar. Thank you for watching. Your stocks when we return.